Hey guys, welcome to another video, and this one is about the POCO phone F1 for an Android 11 ROM. And as you can see on the screen, the name of the ROM is Awaken OS and the version is 1.3. We're going to discuss a lot of things about it. I've been using it for more than 24 hours now. This is the third charge cycle and I've been really impressed. But before we do all of that, if you haven't already, please subscribe and hit that notification bell icon so that you get notified every time I upload a video. In the description, the link for our Telegram channel is mentioned. You can join there and chat with like-minded subscribers. At the same time, if you wish to support the channel, you can go ahead and click on the join button for any of the memberships that you like for exclusive perks and a lot of exclusive content. Now, without further ado, hello awesome people. Welcome to Smartphone Tutorials. My name is Kailash. Let's get going. As always, with a full review of any custom ROM, we will start with the build info and system. That is the reason you see this particular screen over here. So of course, this is Android version, Android 11. Now, as you can see over here, we should get the Android 11 Easter egg. There you have it. So the Android 11 Easter egg is there. And as I said at the start of the video, this is version 1.3 and the build number is this and the build date is 6th of November 2020. So this is a relatively very recent build. It does come with the November security patch, as you can see. And apart from that, the build info and system, that is what is covered. But next, moving forward, we do go to the launcher of this particular ROM. And if we go to the home settings, you do see that this is a very basic launcher. Even if you go to about, it says Android version 11. So not much mentioned over there and not much when it comes to customization. You have at a glance swipe to access Google app and all that stuff is available. So that is good. That is the minimum you can include. But what I would like to mention when it comes to the launcher, if you can see over here, this is one big highlight of the ROM. I don't know how much you can notice this on the video, but for a phone that is 2-year-old and for an Android version that is relatively new, I mean, even the K20 Pro is sort of struggling to get amazing custom ROMs, but the smoothness reflects in this particular ROM when it comes to the launcher itself, because you can see this is seamless. Like even if you take the latest Xiaomi device with 865, there is a Snapdragon 865 and you have this feature on there, it won't be this seamless. So that is what a AOSP based custom ROM does to any particular phone. Now next up, we are going to talk about the camera situation. Now it is not that great, it is not that pretty, but then again, understand that this is a very early build for Android 11. At least they have included a fully functional camera over here, as you can see, and even if you look at the back camera, everything is working as expected. Now you can go ahead and install Gcam and stuff. So very soon you will have versions of Gcam, you will have versions of ANX camera that will be working on Android 11. So that's when the camera situation should be getting really good. Now next up, we're going to talk about the theming and customization on this particular ROM. So if you go to settings over here, you will see that in the display section, first of all, you do have some customization, like you do have this styles and wallpapers option available. So that means it does allow you to customize stuff like, you can choose your own wallpaper. That is not customization. But apart from that, there are clock customizations that you have, and you do have the dark theme as well. But what really is a highlight is the Awaken settings. Now, as you can see over here, you do have ambient display, status bar customization, button customization, notification customization. Now, like Android 10 ROMs, you might not have the best of both worlds wherein you have full level of customization and other things, but there are things like status bar customization. Now over here, there are a lot of options, so you can completely customize your status bar as well. And if you go to miscellaneous, lock screen customization, media art, charging animation and all that other stuff is there. So yeah, when it comes to customization for an early build of Android 11, this is pretty decent. Now next up, we are going to talk about battery and charging. Now that is something I was really surprised and impressed with. The first part I was impressed with, the second part not so much. I'll explain you how. So let's go ahead and have a look at some screenshots that I have preserved when I was using the phone yesterday. As you can see over here in this particular screenshot, the last full charge was 23 hours back, and I had used the screen for 3 hours and 37 minutes, and I still had 13% battery. Now if we dig further, I did have 1 hour of voice calls, and WhatsApp was used for approximately 4 hours, and 1 hour of Facebook. So to me, for an early Android 11 ROM, this is a really good battery backup. You can easily get around 4 to 5 hours of battery backup. Now remember, this phone is a year old, so the battery would have lost some of its capacity as well. And apart from this, if you quickly go to settings and then go to battery, you will see that you get all the information that you need from here. So battery saver is there. You have thermal profiles, so based on per application you can go ahead and enable thermal profiles as well. So yeah, it works like a charm, and even today I had charged it, and even now we are at 69%. So yeah, the battery backup is pretty decent. It is not something that will give you trouble if you want to use this as a daily driver. Now the second part, when it comes to charging, I did connect this to the 18 watt and the 27 watt charger. Now I know it doesn't support anything above 18 watts, so what is the point of connecting it to 27 watts? But just for the heck of it, I did try, but this phone ended up taking around 1 hour and 40 minutes to charge from say 10% to 100%. Now in my knowledge, when you do this on MIUI, it takes lesser time. So what I mean to say over here is that the battery backup is optimized, the charging time is not there yet. It might take 10 or 20 minutes more, but not exactly a deal breaker. Now apart from this, the next thing that we're going to talk about is the audio situation. So if you go to sound over here, you do have now playing, that is not exactly related to sound, but yes, it is Android 11 feature. You do have the MI sound enhancer, so you do have some level of customization. Talking about connecting it with wired and wireless earphones, it works perfectly fine. The sound is on par compared to the stock MIUI ROM. It might not be the best or worst, but yes, it works just fine. So the audio situation is not bad at all. Now next up, let's talk about the dialer and calling features. Now as you can see over here, it does say Wi-Fi call. It doesn't have call recording because this is a build which came pre-installed with G apps, and you do have this pop-up call option of Android 11 or some custom ROMs available. So yeah, the calling feature works perfectly fine. Wi-Fi calling works perfectly fine. When it comes to calls, what doesn't exactly work is carrier video calling. That means while you're on a voice call, you cannot switch to a video call to the other person. It actually disconnects the call. So that might be fixed soon, but honestly, for me, it's not exactly a deal breaker. Moving on, we can talk about the security, face unlock, fingerprint, and all those things. Now the fingerprint, as you know, this phone doesn't have a finger on display, so it has been working just fine for me. And as you saw a couple of minutes back, if I go ahead and lock it over here, 3, 2, 1. So yeah, the fingerprint works perfectly fine. Let's actually dive into the security settings over here real quick. There you go, security. So I have 3 fingerprints set up. Everything is working as expected. And face unlock is not set up, but face unlock works perfectly fine. So yeah, the security options are perfectly okay. There is no issue which I have found when it comes to security. Next up, let's talk about the DRM information and banking applications. Now let me quickly show you here. Google Pay works fine for me. I just did a couple of transfers on this custom ROM. So yes, Magisk is not installed. That means it doesn't have root. So that is the reason there is no issue at all. And Prime Video, Netflix, all videos work on full HD, so that is not a problem. Next up, we will talk about the RAM management on this particular custom ROM. Now, as you can see, even in my install and preview, I did mention that this is a very minimalistic, basic sort of ROM. And as you can see, not many applications are reloading over here. Say if we go to the Google Photos application over here, there you go. So apps do stay in memory. Some games do stay in memory. Now, when we're talking about RAM management, let's also talk about performance. Now, I did play Call of Duty Mobile on this. I did play Asphalt 9, and let me tell you very clearly, the games work perfectly fine. They work perfectly smooth. I have not seen major frame drops. Yes, there were 1 or 2, but it should not ruin your gaming experience. As far as the touch quality is concerned, the touch is smooth, even though, as you can see, I do have a screen protector installed. So the gaming experience is great, battery life is great. What do you talk about when you say the conclusion of this particular ROM? Well, not much to say here, but there are a couple of things that I did notice. Sometimes the phone sort of tends to freeze. It doesn't exactly freeze, but it will hold on to that screen for like 5 seconds. It happened to me only once, and there was one instance wherein the phone was lying on the desk, it was not doing anything at all, and it just restarted on its own. So these are two things which, sort of scared me that, this phone can be reliable or not with this custom ROM. But these are very, very minimal things which happened over 48 hours. So I don't really think this is a deal breaker. You can definitely go ahead and give it a try in terms of gaming, battery backup, and everything else, smoothness and the RAM management. The phone works perfectly fine. So this ROM does get a solid 7.5 out of 10 from me when it comes to the ROM review. 2.5 stars lost there because it is a little early, and very, very soon we will have a final version of Android 11 based ROMs, and this one should be taking quite a lot of improvement there. Now let me know in the comment section, did you like this video or not? Until the next one, this is Kailash signing off at Smartphone Tutorials. Keep smiling, take care, goodbye.